starters tonight?
Reed, Amin, Jabari, Kevin, and Alpi.
Do you expect them to play about the same amount your starters did last game?
I think some of the guys that sat the second half will get a little run in the third quarter. See about the others who haven't played yet, but I'd say Tari is on the same minutes and everybody else will get a little more.
Is your expectations for Kevin tonight just to see how he blends in with the rest of his teammates in the game time situation?
I mean, you never want him to blend in and do what he does and stand out in his own way, what he does. But yeah, at the same time, I think some of the things we've done in practice and lineups we played, he's tried to fit in with different groups, and we've tried to do that as well. So don't want him to blend in, stand out, and do what he does, and build the chemistry with guys, different units, different lineups.
So to clarify, Tari is available tonight?
Yes.
As far as Kevin being thrown into the mix now with your other playmakers on the court, is there any sort of hierarchy that you want to happen in terms of just like shot frequency?
No.
As far as, man, how do you balance wanting him to be, of course, on ball more with Fred's injury, but also want to play him off ball where he thrived the first 2 seasons, especially in the dunker spot and cutting to the basket?
Yeah, I think we encourage him to obviously crash the glass and push at the pace nobody else can really play at that pace, the fast break that he creates on his own. But the fact that he handled a lot his whole life and then played a different role here, we can put him in all those different spots and know how dynamic he is when he's setting screens and slipping out for lobs or rolling and then playing off of the other big in the dunker. He's been great, one of our best offensive rebounders. So the fact that he got that experience the first 2 years, not with the ball in his hands, we can do a lot of different things with him. And then you know, Kevin, Reed, Alpi, guys that can initiate offense and get us into stuff, bodes well for what he can do as well, not just a guy that needs the ball in his hands.
Fred is out, Kevin is now in. What changes for Alper and then his kind of usage as a hub for you guys? Do you expect that to increase, decrease? How would that change this season?
I would say, and I said this, throughout training camp, Reed, Alper, and Amin, we all want those guys to take a jump in usage anyway, and extended roles with whether Fred was here or not, and then obviously that'll be expedited a little bit. But Alpi can do so many different things on the court, and we'll put him in different places, and he can pass, score, if it's facilitate from pretty much anywhere on the court. And so that'll take a jump regardless. And like we encourage we want him to rebound and push as well and get us into stuff. So it doesn't really change what we had planned for him, but probably get more looks without the ball in Fred's hands.
Some of the young guys have talked already about the impact Kevin's had on them during workout, leading up to the start of the preseason. What have you seen from your seat watching how Kevin operates with some of these young guys on the court, off the court, the difference he's making already?
Yeah, it's been a good vibe, good, more of the same with some of the vets we had before as far as leadership and experience out there. And so we got 4 guys that all play together beside him, so you insert him in that lineup and use him different ways, but he also is another guy that shares experiences, is talking to other guys about passing the ball, moving the ball, defensive rotations and things like that. And so just a guy that has the experience that he has, obviously he's going to share that with the guys, and offensively he'll do what he does and stand out in his own way.
For what you're
A lot of
asking,
people have made the comparison about him and Durant and his previous game, I guess early on in his career. Kevin's even addressed it as well. As someone who was a player and now you're a coach, do you see any comparisons between the 2 players and kind of their style, I guess, from what you've seen in base?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him a few times in college last year and then summer league, and I know the size is one thing, obviously, and scoring ability from the perimeter for that size, but haven't watched him closely enough to tell, honestly. I know my guy Will loves him already.
Looking back at your season last year, I thought it was interesting in regards to offensive frequency. You don't have anything, I think, where you were in the top 10 of frequency of certain plays, and other than off-ball screens, you don't have anything where you were in the bottom 10. Is that because of your personnel, or is that a philosophy that you want to be that wide range?
I like the balance, honestly, and I think, because we got guys that can run the pick and roll, and we have one of the best post-up guys in the league, and we have some ISO guys as well. You like to have that variety, and I think, you don't want to only have to go to one thing. Add Kevin to the mix now, and he's another guy that you can put in certain spots to ISO, and we should improve in that area as well. But we'll go to the things that work well at certain times, but the motion and the kind of equal opportunity is what we like initially, and then we hunt the shots that we want, dead balls, timeouts, and free throws, things of that nature.
You have a long relationship with Will Hardy. What gives you confidence that he can make this Utah team a playoff team? What do you think about their program, I guess?
Well, I mean, you saw what he did the first year when he came in. You know, I don't think people expected a ton of them early on, and when he had the full complement of veterans that he had in the mix, I think he surprised a lot of people early. But at the same time, our organization probably has the goals as well, and you know, he's going to coach as hard as he can, but you can only do so much with, you know, trying to find the right guys. It's similar situation to what we were in a few years ago with a bunch of young guys and trying to figure out who is who. And so he's very competitive. He's going to coach guys hard, but you can only roll with what you got, and part of the deal is development at times.
With our man taking over at the point guard position, does his defensive responsibility change any?
No, he's going to be on the best guy night in, night out. Whether that's point guard, they're pretty much in at 4 and at 5 sometimes. And so we'll still rely on him to be great at what he does and then expand his role on the other end.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.